While Title IX helped level the playing field, as Washington State Director of Athletics Pat Chun alluded to, it was a group of female athletes and coaches from WSU that pushed for change within women's athletics. Fox 13's Brian Flores has more on a landmark lawsuit and how its influence lives on today.
And we ask that you direct your attention to center court.
Among Washington State University's athletes, it's her name that equates to greatness.
Jeannie Eggert, a two-sport phenom in basketball and track. Eggert was one of the most recognizable female student athletes in the Pacific Northwest.
Jeannie Eggert-Helfer is considered one of the most prolific scorers in WSU women's basketball history. A two-sport athlete from 1977 to 82, she held the all-time women's scoring record until just 2 years ago. But whether it was basketball or track and field, for Eggert,
by far my favorite sport was football, which was I couldn't play.
Growing up in Walla Walla, she beat most of the boys in sports, except for one.
Most of them I beat, except for my husband. I always say he was the one boy I couldn't beat in most sports. I could outshoot him though in basketball. I kind of laughed at that.
She's also the first woman to athletic scholarship at WSU because of then men's basketball coach George Raveling. But when she got to campus, she did notice the inequalities, like not getting practice gear until her junior year, she says.
Like the men, Georgia's teams flew to all their games, and we drove vans. When the place closed down, they got special places to stay and meal money and all that stuff that we didn't.
When Jeannie was at WSU, about 7 years had passed since Title IX was affirmed. But within the school, it was a different story. Things really had not progressed. It wasn't until a group of 38 women athletes, 11 coaches, and administrators got together to say the women's athletic programs were lesser quality than the men's, basically saying they were victims of sex discrimination. The name on that lawsuit? Jeannie's track teammate, Karen Blair.
Everybody was fighting for a bigger cause, I guess you would say.
Marcia Sainholtz was the women's athletic director at the time. She remembers the struggles, too.
I had one of our former coaches say to me, "You women, you want too much too soon. It's taken us 100 years to get here." And I said, well, it's taken us 100 years too, and we're not even close to being there yet.
Sainholtz was a leader in transitioning from a men's and women's athletic department to a unified one. But in terms of the lawsuit, it wasn't won until 1987. The effects of that being felt now.
I don't care if that's 1972, 1982, or 2022. Suing your employer is a tough deal. But they stood for something, and we're living the benefits of it now.
Title IX is just something that's really, really near and dear to my heart. And to be quite honest, doing research, that's why I attended Washington State University.
And while it's been 50 years since Title IX, 35 years since the lawsuit victory, many recognize the work is far from over.
I'm happy my daughter had an opportunity to play, and her kids should have equal opportunity. It's a great game.
Brian Flores, Fox 13 News.